So why exactly am I making this video on my iPad? I'm not even using my iPhone or my fancy at-home camera that shoots 4K. It's because I want you guys to know 100% sure that you don't need expensive equipment to actually get a YouTube channel started and done. So in this video, I'll show you how I actually built a channel from 0 subscribers all the way to 550,000 subscribers like I actually have right now. And off the rip, I really want to say this, guys, okay? The most important thing when it comes to YouTube isn't going to be, for example, the camera quality. It's usually going to be, believe it or not, audio quality. You can deal with bad image, but you cannot deal with bad audio. And no matter how crisp your audio actually sounds, how great you sound, if what you're saying, if what's coming out your mouth makes no sense, has no value, it won't matter. So overall, the story is the most important thing. The second most important thing is audio, and the third most important thing is usually going to be camera quality. But you don't need a 4K camera. You don't even need an iPhone camera. You could also do it, for example, with an iPad. I'm using my iPad right now just to prove this point. So watch this video until the end, because by far, my favorite part of this video is probably going to be the last one, and you got to watch that one because it's going to teach you everything you need to know and all those little secrets that most YouTubers don't actually talk about. So do me a favor and smash the like button. Now, I want to start this video by telling you guys a short story. I've noticed that whenever anyone is successful and you ask them key questions of what made you successful, they usually share these 3 common traits. Successful people usually know exactly what they want and why they want it. They also have a plan, and they also have a method of tracking their progress. And then third and lastly, they stay consistent and they actually stick to their plan. And that's the most powerful thing I can teach you if it's the only thing you get out of this video. You know, one of my favorite runners of all time, aside from David Goggins, is probably Elliot Kipchoge. This guy runs a sub 2-hour marathon. If you don't know, that is quick. And he tells you the same exact thing. I run every single day, I track my miles, and my goal is to win medals, all right? He wants to do that, all right? And he has a very powerful why. So it's simple. If I were to tell you right now what I do on YouTube, you would have everything, but if you don't have the right strategy, it doesn't make any sense. If you don't have the right mindset, it wouldn't make any sense either. So first of all, let me tell you exactly how I go about when it comes to picking my why. And my why isn't just, for example, why do I want to do this? Is it just for the money? Well, when you first start YouTube, you won't make any money. And for most people, they might not make any money, not even the first year or the second year. So it can't just be about money, because if you're not receiving what you want, you will probably run out of steam. Now, my why is powerful to me. I want to make YouTube content because I want to be that little spark that helps someone out there learn more about personal finance and get started and to actually fix their financial life. To me, that is my powerful why. So one of the most important things on YouTube is going to be your niche. And my niche is obviously in the financial sector. So when it comes to personal finance, when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to real estate, when it comes to stocks, you know, some channels that focus on one very specific aspect, like just stocks, just real estate, just finance news. But I chose to actually go a little wide when it comes to my niche. I want to cover every single aspect when it comes to financial stuff, and also personal finance and budgeting and paying off debt. Now, there is a good aspect to this. And the good aspect is I have a lot of content to pick from. There are a lot of ideas. And my overall goal is that every time you look something up on the YouTube platform, I want to pop up if it's money related. This is good, right? Because I have a lot of videos. They're associated with different parts of sectors, right? So I have a video on stocks and real estate. If real estate videos aren't doing that well, my stock videos are still going to do well. So I'm diversified. But this also means, because my audience is a little bit more wider, it means that every time I post a video, I'm not gonna get a lot of views like the average YouTuber does when he locks down on one subject. So the benefit is, so if you got in value so far, I'm gonna ask for a favor: subscribe to the channel, because only like 20% of the people that watch are actually subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe right now, because I have a lot more content. So the benefit is I have a lot of videos, I stay consistent, I have a wide audience. But the bad part is that my videos are diversified, but it also means I'm not always going to get the most views out there. So you got to understand that you have to have a why, and you have to have a niche. Now, here's a mistake I made early on. When I first started doing YouTube, I made videos about several different niches, from making videos about comedy, about gaming, about movie reviews, and you don't want to do that because it will confuse the heck out of your audience, and the YouTube algorithm will not know how to push you. So it's very important that you actually pick a niche and you have a powerful why. I'm not making this video for fun. I want you guys to learn something. So as I speak, it's not just because I'm like talking, I like talking, but it's also so you guys write things down and take notes and get started right now. Now, second is actually my plan. My plan, I kind of told you guys already, okay? My plan is I want to make content and I want to pop up every single time you search something about money. But now, how does this actually work? How do I take a video from being up here in my mind to you guys actually seeing it? How did it come about for you guys to actually watch this video right now? It's not that complicated, okay? So when I'm actually making a video, I use, for example, my Apple Notes, my Microsoft Word, or for example, Google Docs, which is basically free, and I use that to write my script. Now, what exactly does my script involve? Well, my script is very simple, just like I am, okay? I have a hook. The hook, it was actually hooks you, so I'm expecting that in the first 30 seconds, I have your attention. I tell you what the video is about, and I also ask you to like the video because that helps out a lot. And then the other part is going to be the middle part, and that's what I call the meat of the video. That is where I'm actually going to break down the actual subject and what we're here to talk about. And then later, which is conclusion, I conclude, I close, and I ask you guys to comment about something that's interesting or give me an idea, and that basically keeps the community actually going. So again, my plan is pretty simple. So I have this script. I use, for example, whether it's a camera like my iPad camera, whether it's my iPhone like my iPhone camera, or whether it's my expensive camera that I actually have at home with all my audio equipment. Now, once I record it, what I basically do is I then edit that information and I edit that video. Basically, I used to use Adobe Premiere, but I stopped using it. Now I use DaVinci Resolve. Now, DaVinci Resolve is actually free. If you want to use DaVinci Resolve, you can actually use it. There is a paid version for $295. I don't think you need it if you're just getting started. So I would basically just go ahead and use DaVinci Resolve. Now, I have from the script, well, from the idea to the script to actually going ahead and editing the video. And then after I'm done with all that stuff, I basically go ahead and I publish the video on YouTube. Now, I want to tell you guys something, okay? When you first start doing YouTube, it's probably going to be you, your closest friends, and your parents usually just watching your video. In the beginning, you're not actually going to be getting a lot of views, but there are best practices that you can actually follow to make sure you actually have the best chance of getting the most views possible. That goes from having, for example, a good quality video that actually keeps people attentive, but your first videos are going to suck, so just focus on putting videos out. It goes about having a good solid thumbnail that's simple to understand and it's going to catch people's attention, but your first few ones are also going to suck. Do them yourself, okay? Because you don't want to spend too much money on this stuff because you're just getting started and you're basically learning. And on top of that, you want to have a good description of everything, and you also want to use tags, and you also want to add end screens to your videos. You basically want to do everything possible to make sure the algorithm is going to have all the information to put you in the right spots. So you can even add, for example, captions, but that's not really necessary. Although you could use software to do the captions for you for free, but that's another video for another day. That's my plan, and that's how I take a video from being in my head to actually being in your eyes. I guess that's what I want to say. I'm still here, but now here's the actual last part, and I think by far it's the most important part. YouTube is all about being consistent. When I first started doing YouTube, I was basically 11 years old, believe it or not. I've been on YouTube since I was about 11 years old, and that basically means I almost have like 2 decades here, which is kind of insane to actually think about, but it's been a long time. But I made a lot of mistakes early on. But when I actually started doing this niche, when it comes to personal finance, that was about 5 years ago. And the key is I made a video every single day for about the first 4 years or so. Legit, a video every single day for the first like 4 years, almost the first 5 years. And then I started doing 3 videos a week, and then I started doing just like 5 videos a week. That's my schedule right now, okay? And the best part is, what you really want to find out is what schedule works best for you. If you post one video a week, maybe 2 videos a week, and you do it consistently, that's better than trying to do weekly and then you basically stop and then you start back up. Don't do that. Stay consistent. I do a video 5 times a week because I got used to it. I'm good at doing it, and that's the whole idea, but you don't have to do that. There are other people in my niche that basically post like less frequently and they also do well. So it's not about how many videos you post per se. It's about, for example, posting consistent videos and sticking to the schedule and letting your audience know. But if one day you post, the next day you don't post, then people will be like, is this guy on or is he not on? Okay, it's like, imagine if you are tuning in to your favorite show at 7 p.m. at night and then you tune in, then the show is not on. And then you turn on next week, it's on. And then you tune in the other week, it's not on. Like, there's no consistency, so you might just tune off completely and stop watching. That is the overall idea. Now, before I leave, I want to leave you guys with a simple lesson. YouTube is not about trying to impress anybody. It's not about just about making a lot of money. YouTube is a personal thing. You're talking to real people, so never forget that. If you get 5 views or 10 views or 1,000 views, imagine that many people in a bedroom with you or inside your house. You would be like, it's too many people, right? So think about it like that, okay? YouTube is just about trying to help one person, and that's the way I view it, and that's why I go about it. For example, trying to make a video, trying to answer simple questions, and that has a downside to it. I don't get the most views, but I get consistent views over and over and over again because I'm trying to help people. That's the over idea. And by the way, quick questions. How do you get monetized on YouTube? You need 4,000 watch hours watched and at least 1,000 subscribers. That's around 240,000 minutes. My focus wouldn't be on getting monetized per se. My focus would be in trying to get the best content out there. However, having that monetization goal is probably like a good goal to actually have, which is great. But if you're not being monetized as fast as you probably think you should, don't worry about it, because there's also other ways to make money on YouTube via affiliate marketing or doing, for example, paid video calls or consulting, depending on your niche, okay? There are a lot of ways to actually get paid on YouTube. Now, my last tip is, even when you do get monetized, do not quit your job until you have consistent income from YouTube for the first 18 months. And when you do start making money from YouTube, do not treat this money as if it's regular income, because again, I am a YouTuber. I love the platform YouTube. Have been using it since I was basically a kid, but I'm on here because it's the best platform out there. But you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. You're not really in control here overall, okay? So make sure you know exactly what you're doing, build up your audience, build up your brand. So if anything were to happen, you can always switch over to whatever else is going on out there, okay guys? So I hope this video actually helps you. And I hope you actually understand that when it comes to building a successful YouTube channel, it takes time. And if you guys actually want to understand how I went from 0 to 500K in like those 5 years, it comes down to me posting a lot of videos. Some videos got a lot of views, other ones didn't get that many views, but the overall idea was I did not stop posting. I posted videos with just 1,000 subscribers for a very long time. And then I got a video that actually blew up a little bit, and that got me like my first like 30K or 50K subscribers. And then I kept posting videos, and then another one got 1 million views, and then that one got me more subscribers, and then another one, and then another one. But overall, if you keep posting consistent videos, and I think I have over 1,000 videos posted, if those videos keep reaching people, you're going to get subscribers. And don't forget, no matter how big you get on YouTube, you still have to keep asking for the same things. You have to ask people to like the video, to subscribe, to comment. And it's not because you just like care about it so much, but it's because if I watch a video literally and people don't mention it, I just literally do not think about it. That's like the average person's mindset, okay? So always ask people, subscribe to the channel. Do not be afraid to sell courses. Do not be afraid to write books. Use your audience to actually give them value. Now, here's my last tip, okay? The way I view my audience, and I'm not kidding here, is as if my audience was like my mom or like a family member that's really close to me. The only things I would recommend to them are things that I actually care about, that I understand, and that I trust. I would never go ahead and sell my audience out. And I tell you this, guys, because when you do get successful, right now, you're going to be the person that's actually going to be chasing brands. But when you get successful, those brands are going to chase you because you have the audience they actually want. So make sure, if you do align yourself with brands and companies, make sure they're companies that you actually like, support, understand, that are not going to scam your audience, because if that happens, you are going to lose all the reputation you work so hard to build. And you don't want to scam your audience either. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. And as always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and long-term team officially out. Now, I also want to give a big shout out to all the people on Patreon that make this channel possible. So shout out to the Patreon folks, and here's the list of them. If you want to join us on Patreon, feel free to do so. The link is down below. You get special content and exclusive content, and you also get shout outs here on the channel.